Once upon a time, in a quiet village, nestled between rolling hills and a sparkling river, there once lived a kind old man and his wife. They had no children, but their home was filled with love and laughter, and their lives were enriched by a little white dog, which they cared for as if it were their own. Every day, the old man fed it rice and fish, and the old woman stroked its fur with her gentle hands. One morning, the dog barked excitedly and tugged at the old man's sleeve, leading him to the garden. "What is it, boy?" asked the old man, scratching the dog behind the ears. The dog barked again and began scratching at the earth beneath an old pine tree. "Do you want me to dig here?" asked the old man, taking up his hoe. The dog wagged its tail and nodded, and so the old man dug. To his amazement, he uncovered a pile of gold coins, glittering in the morning sunlight. The old couple's hearts filled with gratitude. They knew that the treasure was a gift from their beloved dog, and they decided to use it not for themselves, but to help those in need. They shared food with the poor, repaired the crumbling shrine, and helped their neighbors with their chores. The villagers admired their generosity and humility, and their kindness became a light that shone brightly in the community. But next door lived a greedy old man and his wife, who grew envious of the attention their neighbors were receiving. One day, they came up with a wicked plan. The greedy man went to the kind old man and asked to borrow the dog, pretending to be kind. "I've heard such wonderful things about your dog," he said. "If only I could have it for a day, my garden would surely flourish." The kind old man hesitated, sensing trouble, but seeing the pleading look on his neighbor's face, he agreed. As soon as the greedy man got the dog, he forced it to search in his own garden, barking and growling if it didn't work quickly enough. But instead of gold, only garbage and broken tiles came out. Furious, the greedy man struck the poor dog and drove it away. The little dog, shaken but unharmed, fled back to its true master, licking his hand as if to say, "Don't worry, I'm okay." A few days later, the dog once again led the kind old man to a special place. It scratched beside the shed, and when the old man dug there, he found a chest full of silver and jewels. The greedy neighbors, spying from their window, burned with jealousy. They seized the dog by trickery, saying, "Lend it to us again, just once more." Against his better judgment, the kind old man agreed, but the greedy man forced the dog to dig in the fields. When nothing but stones appeared, he shouted in rage. In his cruelty, he struck the poor creature, and the kind old man watched in horror as the dog's spirit departed. He buried the dog beneath a pine tree and wept bitterly. That night, the dog came to him in a dream. "Make a mortar from the wood of the pine tree where I rest," it said, "and use it with your wife. Happiness will bloom again." The old man did as the dream instructed. He cut the pine and carved a mortar. When he and his wife ground rice in it, the grains turned into gold. The greedy neighbors demanded the mortar, but when they used it, foul black ashes poured out, staining their hands and clothes. In a rage, they smashed the mortar and burned it to ashes. The kind old man, heartbroken, gathered what remained and carried it home. That night, the dog appeared to him again in a dream. "Take the ashes and scatter them on withered trees," it said, "and you will see what happens." At dawn, the old man carried the ashes outside. A bare cherry tree stood in the cold winter air. He threw the ashes upon it, and at once, the branches burst into blossoms, pink and white, as if spring had arrived in a single breath. The villagers marveled, calling him Hanasaka Jiisan, the old man who made the trees bloom. News reached the lord of the region, who came to see this wonder. The old man scattered ashes, and the withered trees of the castle grounds bloomed brilliantly. The lord rewarded him with riches and honor, praising his kindness and humility. The greedy neighbors, desperate to copy him, stole some ashes and tried to perform the same trick, but when they scattered them, the ashes blew into the Lord's eyes. Blinding and angering him, guards dragged them away, punishing them for their greed. And so, the kind old man and his wife lived peacefully, surrounded by blossoms and loved by their village. The spirit of their faithful dog watched over them, bringing joy to all who knew their story. So that's all for today. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And also let me know in the comments below what other folk tales you would like to hear. Thanks for watching. See you next time.